Yeah, so like I was saying, we're live now. So first episode, Urban Dimension. Uh, we're starting the podcast off. I'm here with Aries, and this is Teddy Rockwell. So
What's up? What's up?
here we
What's up?
go. Yo, yo, yo! It's Friday. What's today? The second, and I
Yeah,
think
it's
the
like
Lakers are probably up. The Lakers are up. Do you keep up with basketball?
not really, man. I used to when I was younger, but I don't watch it as much as I used to.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that. This isn't a basketball podcast though, but you know, what's that
We
shit?
get into
Actually,
the
that
nitty
makes
gritty.
sense. Yeah, I was about to say that makes sense. Like I think that's like a urban or like a cultural kind of thing. Niggas keep up with basketball. Uh, yeah. So first episode, I think what we're gonna talk about. I think we're gonna like mention briefly like the freshmen on the double XL, like the cipher. I think we're gonna talk about like Megan Stallion. What else? Oh yeah, Mulatto. That was funny. Uh
Tory Lanez
oh yeah,
situation.
yeah, Tory Lanez with Megan. Everybody drop music. We gotta I know you're planning to do the 20 21 Savage review, right?
Yeah, man, that album was dope. Straight through.
I think it's funny that they got Morgan Freeman out of like I don't know, just being Morgan Freeman and pull up
No facts,
because I
but
heard he
who else would
yeah.
have who else would have thought to get Morgan Freeman on the album? Because like just getting him on the album is like you the goat. Like who would have thought of that?
Mm, I think they got him for what, just like the intro and the interlude. Is that it?
They've got him on the intro. They've got him on. He's on the end of some tracks too, but he also has an interlude as well.
Does
That
he like
goes.
talk? Because I haven't listened to the album yet. I want to listen to it. So like, when I guess you do your review, maybe like I can throw in a couple of like lines of like my opinions and shit. But for the most part, I have not listened to it. So is it like a is it LMA LMI when she was like talking at the end of everything, or
Oh no, it's not at the end of every track. Because if he did that at the end of every track, I probably wouldn't have listened to it. I'm not even gonna hold you. But it's really brief. Like I thought he was gonna be on there a lot, but he's not. It's only like 3 instances, I believe, 3 or 4 instances.
that's what's up. That's what's up. So it's the Savage Mode 2. Is it does it feel like a sequel to Savage Mode, or is it just like how does it feel? Like is it like
In
a
my
mixtape kind
opinion, I feel like it is a sequel, and it's also not because I feel like it could stand as its own project. Because it like the first Savage Mode, you hear 21 Savage, and he's like raw and he's uncut, which is the same on Savage Mode 2, but most of the beats he used were pretty similar. They all had that dark tone to it, but on Savage Mode 2, he kind of changes his beats a little bit. He uses some dark sounds, he uses some brighter sounds on one track, like the one with Drake, but then he
of?
also uses some more like samples on it, if that's the word you want to use. I don't know, because like the latter half,
So
he
it's mainly like a difference in production.
yeah, it just sounds completely different from Savage Mode 1, but it's also is a sequel, but it could also stand as its own thing if it wasn't in Savage Mode, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. I mean, how long ago was that? I want to say because I think I was like a senior maybe or like a junior in high school when Savage Mode came out.
Yeah, I think it was like 2016, 2017, I believe, if I remember correct.
Yeah, is my controller loud? I'm playing Street Fighter right now.
Nah, you good, bro.
Straight. Yeah. So you think it's like how do you feel about it so far? Like I know you're probably gonna get into it in your review, but I was just like generally asking.
It's solid, bro. I'm gonna be honest, bro. It's pretty solid. Like I listened to it straight through, no skips. The only thing I had issues with was like he had good momentum through like the first. I don't remember how many tracks it was, but it's like the first few tracks, and then like once he got to the end, for me at least, it seemed like, okay, what are you doing at this point? Because the songs they weren't hitting me like they should. But that first 10 or so tracks, they were good.
Hmm, I feel that. I feel that. Yeah, I want to do the Bryson Tiller review. Actually, I wanted to do the 21 Savage review, but I'm not too big on Bryson Tiller. Trap Soul was pretty decent for me, and decent's like a I don't know. Decent's like a funny term. Like I think it's good. It's just like I'm not listening to it every day, but it's good. And I don't know. I just wanted to check out what's it called? Anniversary. Is that what the new album's called?
Yeah, anniversary. I honestly I liked it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna try to review that.
It was pretty good.
That's what's up. I saw like the
My favorite track off of that,
what?
probably, no, I was saying my favorite track off of that probably was Sorrows, cause just because of the beat. The
The
beat was
beat.
hard.
That's fun.
Yeah, but other than that, like it wasn't as good as Trap Soul, cause Trap Soul is a classic in my opinion. It just
Yeah.
it just flows perfectly. But I don't know. I wasn't getting that same vibe from Anniversary. I don't know what Bryson got going on in his life, but
Well, I mean, I think
come
he's a
on, bro,
dad and like
you need to
he's
step it up.
happy type shit. I feel like that's like the similar thing when like people talk about the weekend and they're like they want him to make like really sad cocaine music and shit. So like if he's doing good, they're like, oh, the music's about to be trash.
Yeah, and I'm also glad that he didn't get on this album and pull in some Chance the Rapper shit
Yeah,
and get on here talking about
I love my
his. I
girlfriend,
don't
my
know what that
wife,
marriage is like.
my old lady.
Yeah, I mean that's good and all, but damn nigga, we don't want to hear that.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
I saw the
I'm so
meme
glad
or
he
like
did
the thing on Twitter when people are like, "We waited this long just for him to look the other direction for the album cover."
that. No facts, because it's literally the same cover. He just flipped it and didn't have a hat on. I don't think. But how you feeling about the whole Tory Lanez situation? Like, you think it was his what he did
What
was
kind,
justifiable,
what
or
kind
like
of
you not
question is
fucking with it,
that?
or how you feeling
You
about
like?
it?
Do you watch the DJ Vlad videos
Yeah, I don't know.
or like the DJ Vlad interviews?
No, I've seen a few of them, but
Because I was
I
about to
haven't
say
watched them like
you're that was like a
in a
DJ
minute.
Vlad question. Do you think he was justified? Nah. He was setting the nigga up. Uh, I mean, I'm not too big on like the whole like reading into the celebrity shit because I always feel like there's so much more than like what regular people know about, especially on Twitter. But I mean, what was said was kind of like he shot Meg twice, like in the foot or some shit, and then later it was like he didn't say anything or like he was arrested, different shit, and then I don't know, it was just a bunch of different like we don't know what's going on. She didn't say anything or but then it was like she said, "Yeah,
Yeah,
he shot me," and then people are like, "I don't know if she telling the truth." But then like people were making like memes saying like she's like a man and all this kind of stuff. So that was off the wall. So I mean, let's just skip past it. Nigga gets out and then like drops apparently an album talking about like it was made up or like he didn't do it, but I could have sworn I saw somewhere it was probably like Complex or somewhere somebody had like he said he was too drunk or some shit, and then like Ti was talking about like he spoke to him and he didn't say that like the same situation that Meg said. So it's a bunch of like he say she said.
yeah, I feel that, man. And also, it's like the fact that you dropped not only an album, but I think it had like 17 tracks on it. Like, it took you 17 tracks to say you didn't shoot
Yeah,
somebody. Like, you didn't have to. You didn't. First of all, the timing of when he dropped this shit is just terrible. It was right when
Yeah, I
the
think
Breonna Taylor
the
stuff
Breonna Taylor sense.
had
That's why I
happened.
was saying like I thought it was weird, you know. And I mean, some people were like, "Well, he doesn't have control over that. You know, labels. You gotta have dates and you gotta stick to." I just feel like that might have some validity, you
I
know.
mean,
But I feel like it's crazy how much more political rap is now, or maybe it seems that way because like we're older, or I feel older. So like when I was 12, listening to Wu Tang Clan and shit, obviously I'm not hearing about different stuff going on, but like now it's always some kind of shit, and you gotta like read in between the lines, supposedly.
yeah, that's true. And also, it's like people on Twitter were saying like when he dropped the album, they was like, "Oh, he's telling the story in full depth. We riding with Tory." But I'm like, how you taking his word because he said it? Like she literally had a wound in her foot, and the doctors were saying she had
Yeah,
bullet fragments in her foot, and then he's saying that he didn't shoot her. But I'm like, if you ain't shoot her,
yeah.
then
That's what I was
who
saying.
the
Like
fuck did?
it's a crazy kind of like back and forth, and I feel like I didn't listen to the album because I really didn't give a shit about what he had to say. And like disclaimer, like Tory Lanez has some songs that I fuck with. Like I fuck with Tory Lanez beforehand, but now it's kind of like R. Kelly, except for he didn't like touch kids, you know. But I still, I'm not, I'm not in, I'm not in a hurry to listen to Tory Lanez, you know. And some people are like divided on that whole debate because that opens up like a can of worms. Like, can you cancel a artist or some shit? Like, I could separate the music from what they did, but I think what
Well, here's the thing. I don't know. See, I'm kind of iffy on that because the thing people say that about in regards to the R. Kelly situation specifically, but I'm like, in that case, you can't really separate the music from what the situation was because the
it's
music was
about having
about
sex with
that
little kids.
situation. Yeah, so I'm like, you can't say you want to listen to R. Kelly, but he talking about bumping and grinding with little
Facts. He
kids.
was hog
That
tying
just don't
women.
work.
I feel that.
So,
I mean, yeah, but I think it's weird because you got to set like or it's a whole bunch of things, man. We live in a time where like with Twitter, like everybody's kind of like a social justice warrior, and everyone has a voice. And I don't think that's bad, but I think people really try to force their own opinions on you. I think like that's the thing with everyone having a voice, but I'm not into like the censorship thing, but as far as like canceling artists go, like uh I think it all depends case by case, different things, but like obviously like I said, I don't want to say I support Megan, but I feel like what is really support looking like for me? It's not like I ride with Meg or I'm picking sides. It's just I think in that situation she was a victim and she has my sympathies, you know. Like if nigga did or something, I'm not gonna be in the nigga's
hmm
corner bumping this shit. And like I said, I think it's fucked up too that niggas shot her, and then like with the Breonna Taylor case and everything comes out, it's kind of like he's going after her. You know, I don't know if that's the situation, but it seems like that, and it's not the right time. And yeah,
yeah, and on top of that, he's making money off
yeah,
of
he
it
went
too.
number 1, which is crazy.
Yeah, he went number 1 in Apple Music, and Spotify are not pushing his album. So that means niggas is listening to it just to see what he had to say, or they listening to it
Well, I
because they
mean, the
fuck with Tory
seeing what he
Lanez.
had to say thing, I kind of get because I know I was thinking from like a urban dimension standpoint. I'm like, well, if we are gonna like talk about him or talk about it, then I guess we could see what he had to say. But like, I didn't really give a shit. I was just like, it doesn't matter what he has to say. That was just me. And I figure we're probably not gonna be covering any Tory Lanes in the future. So there was that.
Oh, fact.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
yeah,
he's done. We're not covering him.
yeah. I do not. Yeah, bro. I'm trying to think of what's the word. I don't sympathize with like with niggas like that. So that's me.
Yeah, niggas who beat women and shoot women. Nah, man. You a whole little bitch.
Yeah.
Nope,
And it's crazy
nope.
too because like I remember we were talking about nobody, well not nobody, but he was having a run, you know, like he was doing really good in the quarantine radio thing. Like he was, I don't know, I think he was on like kind of a ladder. Like Tory was lit. I fucked with Tory Lanez like up until that point. Uh and then it's just like wow. And I think it's even funnier that he got Rick Ross coming out the cut on Twitter saying he bought him a car. It's a fucking smart car, and he's like, "Congratulations, so your album going double acrylic."
Yeah, man. Ain't nobody. If anything, like I don't think he's gonna be for music from the music industry standpoint. I don't feel like he's gonna be canceled permanently. I feel like it's gonna be for a little minute. It might be, I don't know how long, but it's gonna be a little minute before he gets features from anybody else or has anybody else featured on his album. Because I mean, that's gonna look bad on the other person if they get him or if they
Yeah,
work together, him and another artist. And also now, also, let's say this. I'm about to throw a curveball, so just bear with me. Let's say he didn't
okay,
shoot her. Okay, if he didn't, which I still think he did, even if he didn't shoot her, it's still gonna be a tarnish to his name because
yeah.
you had
Well, I
this
mean,
whole allegation on you.
from my understanding, I may be wrong, but like, I think she chose not to press charges, which is why he's not like in any situation. And also, like her medical records, I think was like released or some other shit. So it's like 99, like everything points towards him doing it, you know. So, but even if he, yeah, if I'm stepping
Yeah,
into that realm of like, yeah, maybe he didn't do it. Yeah, there's that, but I mean, fuck, who trying to get a R. Kelly feature right now?
nobody.
But yeah, people are making the thing like Rick Ross, you know, he put Molly and women drink and they don't even know it, or like they were referencing that song. So that's a thing.
Uh-uh. That is crazy. And also, like, I'd only listened to like one song on the album because I was just like, if we gonna talk about it, I need to at least hear something he had to say. And he was talking about he was in he didn't shoot her, and he was like, how you know I shot you if your back was turned, and like he was in Miami chilling throughout this whole process while he was trying to figure out what he was going, something like that around those lines. And I'm just like, you kind of making yourself look worse by
Yeah.
doing all
I
this.
mean, I feel like,
I
hmm
also feel like I'm not surprised he said something because if anybody was had allegations on them, of course they're gonna defend their name to the best of their ability. But that's just the way he was doing it was just like he wasn't apologetic in anything. And first on another thing, he um he didn't even, from what I read, he didn't even call Meg to say he was sorry or nothing. He sent her a text message while she was in the hospital. A text
yeah, man,
message.
he was busy. He couldn't talk. He like, yo, you good? Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that's an asshole move. Like, and maybe that's just like how we see it. I don't know. That's why I can't like speak definitively. Like, I know the situation, but from what I know, like in general, from the facts that I've heard, it's just like, yeah, well, I can't really fuck with that. But I'm trying to think. I was trying to pivot to something else. I kind of lost it now, but I think it's a catch. Oh yeah, so it's a catch 22 because I think people expect you to react or people expect you to not react. So it's kind of like you doomed if you do or if you don't. And back to the Twitter shit, it's like everyone has something to say. So like tension, I guess, builds regardless. You know, it's different with like
Yeah,
I'm trying. This is so fucking random, but like Justin Timberlake and Britney Spears, like if they're going through some shit like way back then, we were younger and we didn't have social media, so it's not like we had an inside view of their relationship. But it's like with stuff like that now, you see it and know everything about it.
yeah, that's very true. What else was I about to say? The whole situation is also weird because like you said with the whole he said she said thing, and then also on top of that, it's like he I don't know, it's like he really threw his whole career away. It's like not his whole career per se, but you know, a big chunk of it. It's just like you ain't had that to do. Like you just didn't.
Facts, facts. Well, yeah, I mean that is what it is. Tim Duncan. Yeah, I
Not
used to
Tim
fuck with
Duncan.
that song because I really like Tim Duncan and the Spurs. So like that used to be one of my Tory songs.
Yeah, that was a good song. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie, it was.
Oh, another thing too that was crazy about it was like niggas was talking about how like I guess how he had beef with a lot of people because I remember he was beefing with like Travis Scott, which is I think funny, but and a lot of people he like name dropped on the album I heard, and it's like so you could say shit to them and pull up on them and shit, but like this woman you have no issue. I mean, yeah, you could say shit and not do nothing, but like this woman, it's easy. Like you don't have an issue with that.
Yeah, that was crazy to me. And also, it was like he had issues with like J.R. Smith for some reason, and some two chicks named like I think her name was Dream Doll. I don't know her
Fact.
name, but I think he had beef with them, and I was just like, why you got beef with? First of all, why you got beef with J.R. Smith? Like he don't bother nobody. And another thing, I was just like, if you if you really didn't shoot her, why didn't you just say that from jump when the whole situation was hot months ago? Why would you wait till it cools off
Yeah, 'cause I kind of
and
forgot
then
about it.
bring it
Yeah,
back up? Yeah, I completely forgot about it. Because best believe if I was in his situation and I know for a fact I ain't shoot her, the first thing I'm saying is I didn't shoot her. Blah blah blah. I ain't in that to clear that up quick. Because because now you done waited, got all these people thinking, did he shoot her? Maybe he didn't shoot her. Maybe he did shoot her. So I'm just like, you played that wrong, dude.
yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm speaking on the fact that like we don't know fully everything. Like I wasn't there, so I can't speak on it. But I do know this, man. He like I get the rap thing, like you gotta say shit and like, it's like fuck you, but like the J.R. Smith thing I think is really funny because I know J.R. Smith whooped this nigga's ass, bro. I saw J.R. Smith fuck up dude who like messed up his car at like one of the protests. And like J.R. Smith's like what, 6'5", 6'6"? Torres like five, I don't know, five something.
They be saying he's 5'3", but I don't think he's 5'3". I think he's like 5'7", 5'5".
I think that's so funny. Prince was like 5'4", and yeah, but yeah, that is random. J.R. Smith stuff. I think he might have said something or whatever, but oh well.
He not seeing J.R. Smith in these streets though.
Yeah, I saw
Let's
that on
just be
Twitter too.
honest.
People was like, "How are you from Canada telling niggas you from the trenches and Jr. from New Jersey?"
That's really funny though. Yeah, that boy, he wilding, man. He just need to. I don't want to say go back to Canada, but at
Facts.
this
I did
point,
hear they were trying to deport that man. I don't know how that works.
yeah, I don't know how that works either. I don't think it's a
We coming
simple.
after
Oh, we
Tory's green
detain
card.
you. Yeah, I don't think it's. Yeah, I don't think it's that simple of a process. But
I think he's the most
I don't know.
problematic Canadian now.
Oh, of course, because they don't be doing nothing in Canada. They be minding their own business, and then he out here shooting people.
Yeah, man. That's wild too, because it was like two shots, I think, and then like I heard later, like one place was talking about like he told her like dance, bitch, before he like I don't how do they know that? Like shit's weird, but I do feel bad about it. That's I feel sorry for Meg. That's a tough situation, and I know she didn't have much support, so that's why like my sympathies and support goes with her. Because before people were doubting her like instantly, and they're like, "Oh, this bitch lying. She didn't." Blah blah blah. And I can understand like a lot of the issues with black women feel like they're not protected or like society just has it out for them because in many instances they do. So there's that.
Yeah, that's very true. And also, I feel like why would what reason would she have to lie about that? Like, she's not in, to my knowledge, she's
The
not in any like
Illuminati.
gang affiliation. Yeah, she's not in nothing. She just out here getting her money, doing her shows and all that, and staying out the way. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like she would have a reason to lie about that. And people was talking about she was
Oh
snitching, but I'm like, if you was snitching, that's
yeah,
not
that's
what
way
snitching
different.
is.
Quote Morgan Freeman. That's not a snitch.
True,
Yeah,
man.
bro. Best believe some shit like that happens to me. I'm doing the same thing. I'm either saying what happened or like, go after that nigga myself. But
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. If somebody shot me in the foot twice, I best believe I'm telling them sorry. I ain't. I mean, we not
yeah,
cool no more. Just like that.
I don't know. It's like I said, it's
Nah.
different. Excuse me. It's different now because everyone has uh like I think that's something that's kind of weird with social media, but everyone is expected to have like an opinion or like they want to share how they feel or with Twitter an idea just goes instantly to like a whole bunch of people. So like one person says something like I don't think this happened and now everyone gets divided on it. And me personally, I just be like, well, I mean, I don't really give a fuck until like something definitive kind of happens, you know. But that that situation
Yeah,
is like one speck of like what goes on in like the music kind of industry. I feel
yeah, and I also feel like niggas on the internet just need to stop being like Trump's trying to be the Sherlock Holmes of what happened in the situation. Like, you wasn't there, you don't know. We trying to get the facts just like y'all are. Just wait until everything happens and comes out, and then we will know. That's just my thing on it. I don't really like when people get on Twitter and be like, "Oh, he didn't shoot her. She was hitting him. That's why he shot her." Or some
facts. They
shit
was
like that. It's
there,
just
eyewitness
like
reporting live, reporting live.
I'm about to say, like, are you TMZ? I'm about to say that just doesn't make sense to me. Like, you a grown man, grown woman on Twitter talking about somebody else's situation. Like, go get a job, bro.
I
Come on
go
now.
get a job, bro. It's a pandemic, man. It's hard out here.
Well, shit. I know everybody bored, but that
Yeah,
ain't
and
it,
that's
man.
one like counterpoint. I guess I kind of get about it too. Like it's not that serious. It's the internet, and some people like goof off, and like it's relief to a lot of people, and like that's maybe why they care. So, but I definitely get both sides. I get both sides.
Yeah. But on a brighter topic, how did you feel about the double XL ciphers or freestyles that you looked at?
Um, what's the when you're playing basketball, right? And like what's the
Yeah.
key or like the court, the spot that's between short and long. What's that called? Mid. It's called mid.
Hey,
Drop the
mid, I'm
ball
weak.
on him.
I was not
It
expecting you
was
to say
mid. It
mid.
was mid. Oh, I tried to throw you the alley oop on that one. For the most part, it was mid to me. Um, the main. Oh fuck, I'm trying to think because I remember when you sent it to me. The Polo, I think Polo G was straight. I didn't like how he was like cut the beat. He had to hit that Eminem 8 Mile acapella. I didn't think that was bad. It was good, but I felt like it was like extra, you know.
Yeah, he thought he was conceited from Wildin' Out. He said DJ D-Rec cut the beat,
I just
but
thought yeah,
other than that, for me, it was
it was
good.
good. I
But
just thought that was unnecessary. Chica, I think did alright. I wasn't too. I was more like a. I think I wasn't upset, but I was just like, okay. Mulatto was straight. I think she probably did the best. Jack Harlow was kind of like, okay, all right. Uh, I don't even listen to like half the people on there. What was that guy's name? Like 24K Gold or something.
something
I
like that,
gotta
I
look
ain't
him
never
up.
heard of
I
him.
liked.
I don't even know.
I didn't think he was like the best, but I liked his shit. His shit was. It was straight. I was fucking with it. I was fucking with the flow. He was cool. And I'm trying to think of who else I liked. I'm really drawing a blank.
They had Rod Wave was on there too, but he was,
Yeah, Rod
you
Wave
know,
wasn't bad to me. He was to me. It was like he was running out of breath, kind of like you know. And I'm not trying to like be like, oh, he's fat. Like I think like mid cipher, he was just like running. It seemed like he was struggling to keep up with the beat.
yeah. Who else was on there? I'm surprised. I was kind of upset Baby Keem didn't do a freestyle because I wanted to see how he would have, not a freestyle per se, but a join
Oh,
the cipher because I wanted to see how he
probably would
would
have
have
did better than Lil
did.
Key.
Oh God, let's not even get into Lil
I don't think.
Key.
And the crazy thing is this. I think we mentioned that, but like I feel like the cipher for double XL is kind of elite, not elite, obsolete. I can't speak. At this point because for artists like Lil Keed, I feel like it's uh it's not fair to have a cipher, I guess. And people are gonna make the argument like, oh well, you're not a rapper if you can't freestyle. Not, I think that's bullshit. Not everybody's a freestyler. You know, like Kanye on Sway in the Morning. That I think that was a bad freestyle, but he's not that kind of artist. And what I mean from bringing that up is just like Lil Keed said like I think not even 20 seconds of just like mumble jumble. And some of his songs hit though, you know. And I think what he does is different from being able to cipher. So he's gonna look a lot worse having to follow up Jack Harlow or the Polo G, the nigga that doesn't take a beat and tries to spit a mean 16 at you.
Oh yeah, that's definitely facts. Because also that's what Gunna did. Because he's not when he was on the XL freestyle or list, he didn't even do a cipher. I don't believe. I don't even think he did a freestyle. He was just on the list. So I mean, yeah, not everybody's meant to be out here doing a cipher. I'm kind of mad he did do a cipher though, because like you said, it makes him look a lot worse compared to everybody else. And on top of that, he can't really. I don't even know what he was saying on his cipher. I mean, not. I keep getting him confused. His freestyle. I
Yeah.
mean, he was talking about his grandparents. I know that's the song he has, but that just if that was a song you wanted to pick to do your freestyle, I don't think that should have been the one. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean,
But
to me, I think well, for one, I don't keep up with the freshman double XL that much. I feel like it's kind of lost its meaning. I guess like a lot of the people are just like whatever. It's different, and I don't think oh these niggas can't rap blah, blah, blah. I just think the music's different, and I think with the outlet that they use to showcase their talent should reflect that. So if the music is evolving and people are more melodic or they do different kind of stuff, then like maybe there should be a way to showcase something like that. That's just how I feel. And uh yeah, you can kind of piggyback off of that.
oh yeah, that's that's facts. I also feel like what you I agree with what you said, and also they've lost their credibility because to me at least because they used to have rappers on there that were up and coming and were still out here grinding, trying to make it in the industry. And now it just seems like they just pick whoever's the most popular artist at the time. Like they got artists on there that have already made it per se, or yeah, have made it per se. Like Jack Harlow, he's made it already in my opinion because he had a song with Lil Wayne, the baby Tory Lanez. I feel like if you get Lil Wayne featured on your song, you done made it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
and also yeah, they've lost their credibility to me because you know they used to have rappers on there like Logic, Travis, Joey Badass, Big Mensa, Vince Staples, Chance the
Ooh,
Rapper.
nah,
Now they just
nah.
got
I'm not gonna let you skate past with the Vic Mensa. He was good at that time.
I know yeah, that's what I'm saying. At the time, he was good, but now he's mid. Now we ain't gonna talk about that.
Yeah,
But at the time, he was at his prime at that time. But now he done fell off so hard. It's
Yeah.
ridiculous. But you get what I'm saying. They just not the same quality of rappers,
Yeah, I
I should say.
definitely get that. I think shit. That's what I'm saying, man. Back to my same argument. Like shit changes, the platform or whatever should reflect or what's the word? Uh, I can't think of the big word that I'm trying to get, but like support like the kind of change that's been made. And then I think
Mhm.
I don't know. Like I feel like it is a bit of a popularity contest, and I don't think it's completely their fault. Some people turn them down, different shit, and just like with anything in music, there's probably some kind of politics that we don't know about or some other shit. Uh, but it lets you keep track of some people, you know. So like the 20, I hope I'm not butchering that dude's name, but it's like 24K Gold or whatever. I thought he was cool. Like I fucked with it. 24K Golden. I thought he was cool.
Oh yeah, he did a fairly decent job. I mean, he wasn't talking about nothing on his side for real, but he was flowing with the beat. And also talking about the beat, I feel like that was a bad choice of a beat for a cipher because there was a lot going on. Like you had the hi hats and the open hats that were just made it really abrasive to the ear, and also you had the rappers rapping as well, and they wasn't talking about nothing either. So it just sounded like
Facts. Polo G
dribble.
said nothing is better than this beat.
No facts. I mean, I know the beat was made by I think it was Jetson made. I think I don't know. It was somebody, some up and coming producer or up and producer right now. But yeah, the beat just it wasn't hitting for
Yeah.
me.
So I mean, it might not have. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's a whole nother thing. Like even if uh Lil like what I was saying with Lil Keed and just artists not sort of being a like freestyle heavy, how do you get a beat that accommodates everybody? You know, or
You just gotta get them a simple, a simple boom bap. I
basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
mean, I mean, hey, it's a simple beat. Anybody can hop on it. Like a child can hop on it if they wanted to. It don't matter. It's just simple to the point.
Yeah,
That's what I
I
feel like
feel
they could have did. They could have just made some beats like they had in their previous
they
cipher.
could have
Like
had a beat from Aries or Teddy Rockwell.
yeah, they could have had one.
Self plugs could
They
have had
missed
our
out.
beats. Uh, I mean, it is what it is. People, I feel like people been kind of stopped rocking with Double XL or like checking for them on like some heavy shit. But I'm not gonna sit here and like trash them. You know, that's not my kind of thing. But it's different. You know, people get music from different places. People check for different things. It's we're living, I think, in a time where everything is rapid and the old stuff doesn't work, or not every old thing that we know is gonna work. So you gotta like think outside the box. That being said, as far as the double XL cover goes, I think my favorite was Mulatto. She was straight. I liked her shit. Polo G did good. Honorable mention to 24K Golden. Chico was pretty decent. Jack Harlow was decent. If I'm forgetting anybody, then they obviously
That wasn't
didn't keep
important.
yeah, they didn't keep my attention.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Let me think. My favorite. Surprisingly, I liked Mulatto a lot. I did not think I was gonna like her music. Not even her music, but her cipher as a whole. I was not didn't think I was gonna like it that much until I heard her actually on there. And then the bar she made about Fabio Foreign,
yeah.
that was funny to me. Just the way he looked at her, it was just hilarious.
Yeah, he was like, "Oh, word."
He said bet.
Shit, it'd be like that, you know.
But yeah, my favorite was Mulatto, Polo G, probably second. I would put I might put Jack Harlow third, and then 24K Golden at well, 24K Golden and Chica, they're gonna be tied for me just because I don't really know how to rank either one of them. 'Cause I know Chica's verse was kind of mid because I know she can rap. I'm I was just confused as what that her
What the
verse.
dog was doing.
Yeah, it just it just didn't make sense to me because I'm like, I know you can rap better than this. She should have been the one smoking all of them, but she didn't.
Well, I don't think it was bad. I think I was just like I wasn't like, oh, she's a lyrical miracle spiritual individual bars. But I think she was straight. 24 24K. He got the thumbs up from me, man. I fucks with dude. Jack Harlow was straight though too. Uh, yeah, this kind of is what it is. As far as Mulatto goes, I think it's funny that people like on Twitter was like, when are we gonna talk about this colorism and mulatto being a bad word that people use and how this sets us back and all that other bullshit.
Man, that I had seen that on Twitter, and I was just like, I see what they're saying, but like, I don't know if I'm gonna sound ignorant if I say this, but I'm like, when I have never heard anybody say the word or call somebody mulatto in this time period. Like, I thought that's a old term that people use because I know it was a derogatory. I think it was derogatory, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Derogatory term back in the day.
yeah.
But I
Well,
mean,
I mean,
today I've never heard anybody say it.
oh, I mean, it depends on how recent. I mean, I've heard it. I know what it means, but I didn't. It's a fucking rap name, you know. I didn't. I've like I'm pretty laissez faire with a lot of shit, so I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is bad. If she calling herself mulatto, who gives a fuck? She's mulatto, you know, like that's what she's going by. And I think she was saying like that's what people called her. I don't know who's running around like mulatto, like you not you mixed. I don't know who's doing that, but if that's what her story is, then fuck it. You know what I mean?
No,
Like
for real.
that's that Twitter shit I was talking about. Like how are you gonna sit down and tell someone about themselves or like their experience? I think that's wild. And not only that, I'm from New Orleans, you know, so like a lot that's a mixture of a lot of people, different kind of like backgrounds and races and shit. So I understand that whole thing and like the term uh I'm familiar with, you know, but I didn't think today niggas would be like in up in arms about it. And then for me, I gotta break it down even more so like this. She's a rapper. Her rap name is Mulatto. Like why does that upset you? Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
That's
a very
just
good
me
point.
though.
Because I'm like, if it's not like she's out here calling, because like I said, I do understand why people could find offense to it, but I'm like, she's not out here calling people mulatto on her song. She's talking about herself, and she's not being derogatory to the listeners. So I'm like, why do you have a problem with what she wants to name herself? Because she's not gonna change her name. I can just guarantee you that. That's just not gonna happen.
Nobody. Well, actually, that's a lie. I was about to say no one had an issue with Rich Chiga, but I didn't hear too many people be up in arms about it. He did end up changing his name to Rich Brian, but uh,
Was that cause of the people that wasn't liking his name, or was that just his own thing? If you know.
I think it's because it's like rich nigga, but he's not a nigga, so people is kind of having an issue with it, and he's like, oh shit, let me let me change that. That's what I'm assuming. I don't know the full story or anything.
Oh, okay.
But that I mean, bro, to me a name is a name, and I feel like it's whatever you make of it. As long as it's not no crazy shit, I don't see an issue. Like I was listening to Old Dirty Bastard. You know what I mean? So Dirt McGirt,
That's
I fucks with it.
a very good point. So yeah, I mean, I don't personally, I didn't even think twice about her name. I was just like, oh, her name's Mulatto. That's original, different. But
Yeah, I mean, what if they had a nigga rapping with the name nigga?
Well, I mean that's a completely different that's a completely different scenario. Then we got different things to talk about.
That there's probably a rapper named nigga. We just don't know him.
I'm sure
But
there's somebody on SoundCloud with that name. I'm sure.
hey, man, freedom of speech. That's another thing, man. Like to say like we're for the most part, I'm assuming like most of the people that we're talking about is American, but like freedom of speech. Just if that's what you want to call yourself, who gives a fuck? That's how I feel.
It's a very good point, man.
Yeah, music is so like I don't know, just express yourself type shit. Her favorite rapper Gucci Mane, so that should tell you what she about.
I'm about to say um like her style of rap, where she's from and what she talks about. I mean, that should not what she talks about, but like you get what I'm saying. That should tell you what her mindset is. I mean, you should know she not gonna care what people think of her, regardless.
Yeah, I mean it's different. I know people was kind of like starting to put her up against Flo Milli for some reason. I thought that was
I feel
interesting.
like for that comparison, I don't feel like that's a good one. I feel like they should put like I don't know, Meg and Mulatto, compare them to.
To, for me personally, I don't know who's competing with Meg. I think Meg's she's on that run, man.
Oh yeah, Meg is definitely on that run, but I'm just saying like
Yeah,
as far as rap style and articulation style, you could compare Meg and Mulatto, and I would say like for Flo Milli, you could compare her to the baby. I would say because they got that fast,
yeah.
rapid
I
cadence.
think I spoke about that in my Flo Milli review. She well no, I might have wanted to, but I didn't. But she reminds me a little bit of the baby. I It's crazy as it sounds. I Some of her music I fuck with harder than the baby's. Like the baby got some songs, but I'm more interested in hearing from Flo Milli. She impresses me a little bit more. She varies in the cadence and the style. She's cool. I fuck with her. Only thing I don't like is like also on Twitter people are saying like yeah she's one of like the best dark skinned women rapping right now or blah 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 blah. And I didn't get why it was important to bring up that she's dark skinned. I guess representation matters. So for some people I get that, but I think it's a bit underhanded to like I'm the coldest nigga rapping with glasses or I'm the you know what I mean? That's
Mm,
like saying like
yeah,
she's pretty for a dark skinned girl. Like I don't think that's necessary. I think she's a good rapper. Like I think that's good enough.
yeah, and I completely agree with you. I don't feel like I do understand that representation does in fact matter because I feel like there should be more dark skinned rappers per se because sometimes the media can be saturated with just light skinned people, lighter skin complexion people.
Yeah.
But also at the end of the day, it's like, can she rap? Like,
Well, I mean, I think that's a different argument for a different thing. Colorism is a whole
yeah, that's a whole other
yeah,
topic
that's
we
a
could
whole
get
other
into.
topic. And like, I get where it is. I get how it is, and it does make a lot of things bland, especially with like media. You see like a lot of different models and like celebrities, whatever, and they're doing shit, and they get all this hype and like push. And to me, I'm just like, well, she's not all that. She's just light skinned. Or like, where's the substance? So
Yeah.
I get that completely. But as far as it goes, when I listen to shit, I'm trying to think, what's her album called? Oh, Why Is You Here? Yeah. When I listened to the it's actually a mixtape. When I listened to it, I didn't have an issue with it. I really liked it. I thought it was cool. Uh I thought it was good for like that mixtape introduction, like who she is as an artist, getting that, and like if she produced or had any other kind of bodies of work, I would give it a listen just to see what kind of growth she might have or like what other stuff she might have.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. Familia is she pretty cold. Because at first I wasn't really messing with her like that after I heard the beef remix she did.
Yeah,
Only because like when I was listening to it, I was just like, this sounds so corny to me. But then after a while, I heard she had put out I can't remember what the song was called. I think it was Pussycat Doll, I believe it was, where she had that fast cadence and she was really aggressive. I think that's what it was. That might be incorrect. It was some song like that,
yeah,
and I was just like, "Oh, she kind of cold. I might have to check her out."
yeah.
And so yeah, that's
I feel that I was turned off a little bit too by the beef remix. I didn't think it was bad. I think it was like, and this is really like from me showing like that deep mixtape Wayne era when Wayne did mixtapes. Uh,
hmm
I wasn't big on people remixing songs almost unless they were like Wayne and they completely made the song their own, which I think she did, but it was just like I liked Playboy Cardi's beef just so much more that like I didn't think anyone would touch it. So that's a preference thing. I still think it was good though. And it kind of grew on me. It's to me Flo Milli like as an artist, I think personally I'm not going to go out of my way to play her like that much. I might give her a listen here and there, or like if I'm at a party or some shit and Flo Milli's on, I'm not gonna be mad at all. Or if like I'm talking to a chick and she's playing it, I won't be mad at all. Uh, but yeah, I think she's solid.
yeah. I'm kind of glad that she didn't get on back to the beef remix she did. I'm glad she didn't get on that track and do what Sweetie did to
Oh,
blow the whistle.
oh,
Oh.
you you're glad she didn't tap in on it.
Yeah, man. Cause that
Yeah,
tap in ain't it.
it don't hit.
No, it ain't hitting for me.
I mean, yeah, we gonna be making niggas mad with this type of shit. But I mean, fuck it.
Hey,
Yeah, I felt the same. I was just like, why did she just get on the exact same instrumental? And, you know, that's how I felt. But I'm always probably going to side with the artist in expression, freedom of speech. And, like if you want
mhm.
to do that shit, do it. Because I feel like in some cases, good can come out of it. But I think execution matters too. I wasn't fucking with it. It was a miss.
Yeah, the thing is about that, I feel like with Saweetie, there's growth that could happen. Cause I mean, I feel like she probably can rap better than that, but it's just like for that song, I feel like she kind of she didn't tarnish the song, the original song, but it's like there's no originality there. Cause like, isn't that what she did? Didn't she do that for another song? I can't remember, but
I'm gonna just
I
tell
might be
you like this, bro. Flo Millie got listens from me, bro. I'm not listening to Sweetie. That's
wrong.
that's just me though. I'm not.
I feel that too. I ain't
Yeah,
checking for Sweetie like that. She'd have to have something drop that's like
yeah.
super hard for me to check for it. But hey, I mean, cool person. Just I mean, I don't know her like that, but she seemed cool. But rapping wise,
Be honest, you
yeah,
you seem cool. You be dressing.
be dressing though.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fuck. I Yeah, I can't really give any support on that. It's just like it is what it is. Some shit you fuck with, some shit you don't. If you like certain songs and an artist covers it or remixes it and does some shit that you don't really get or fuck with, then obviously you're probably not gonna be a big fan.
Yeah,
Shout
that's
out,
very true.
shout out to
And
Too Short though. I think Too Short is the OG that pushed the culture forward. He's not in my damn, this is gonna sound bad. Yeah, he's not probably like not in my top 20 or my top maybe even 50. He's not bad, but I fuck with Too Short. I think he discovered Lil B. So shout out to him and the bass guy. But yeah,
yeah, You know what's really crazy about that? Like when artists sample tracks like that and don't really change much, the original creator of the song, like Too Short, they get a large percentage of that song. I think it's. So I remember I watched the interview with Juicy J, and they had sampled. He was talking about some song somebody had sampled.
Mafia, probably Suicide Boys, because they steal a lot of the music.
Yeah, I don't think it was Suicide Boys. Well, it might have been. I can't remember, but it was some song he was talking about, and he was saying that when they sampled it, he got like 50% of the royalties for it, and I was just like, that is a large.
Now that
That's a very large portion.
Juicy J gets a hardcore salute from me. That's one of my favorite old rappers. I know
Hmm.
it's funny how I said it was underhanded with the this Flo Milli shit. I to me Juicy J is like one of my favorite OG rappers. He's lit. And 3 6 Mafia is hella influential. I fuck with the Memphis sound. I fuck with Memphis rap in general. I fucks with them. But yeah, artists like that, like Juicy J and Too Short, I know they're not mad if someone remixes or whatever covers their song because they're gonna get some kickback and money. So that's why I'm like, well, if it gets big or popular, so I'm not gonna be like people shouldn't do this because there's a good that can come out from it. Especially with like Juice World when he had the song where he sampled, was it Santana?
I think it was Santana. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was either Santana or Sting. One of the two.
one of the two. It might have been Sting actually, but Lucid Dreams, like that's a good song and it just so happens to have a sample in it. And I think if you're under the premise that like, oh, you shouldn't do samples or shit like that, then a lot of good art I think doesn't make its way to light. So that's how I feel.
Oh yeah, that's facts. That's yeah. Because if you think about it, like saying somebody just because somebody samples something doesn't mean it's not original.
You know how many
Because
people wouldn't have like careers if it wasn't for sampling?
Kanye West wouldn't have a career if it wasn't for sampling. Granted, he can still do other things as a producer and a lyricist, but most of his greatest songs came from sampling old school records. So it's like saying somebody sampled something isn't original. That's a very invalid argument, I would say.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I'm trying to think of like what else we could kind of branch off to. Shit, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Hmm. Not off the top of my head, no.
Cause I know we're nearing that hour mark. I think we're at like 59 minutes. Damn, that seems like we didn't talk about much, but like the time kind of flew by. Hmm.
Oh,
I
I do
could
have a thing we could talk about.
what
How do you feel about um stan culture and with artists? How do you feel about that?
stat? It's funny because I know what you're hinting at. I mean, obviously, stan culture I think is weird. I feel like people could figure that out about me, like how I feel like with internet shit. But um, as, I'm gonna break it down, I guess, from like Stan. I think the slang Stan originated from that song by Eminem, where he's talking about the guy Stan, who's like some crazy fan of his that's like really anal about him, like oh my gosh, all this kind of shit. Obsessed.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I think anything, shit, man, everything in moderation. Like anything like too much of anything can be bad. So if you're like super obsessive about someone and you kind of build up this person to be larger than life and you get inflated in what they are, then of course that'll have some negative effects and repercussions.
yeah, I definitely agree with that. Like, I feel like when people get on Twitter, I'm not gonna say which group of stands I'm talking about, but y'all can infer. Y'all can definitely infer. But people on Twitter be taking it just a little too far for me. I just be like, y'all are almost worshiping this. Actually, forget it. I'm just say what I'm talking about. Beyonce stands. Y'all be out here wilding. I know Twitter, social media, y'all gonna get on my neck, but I say what I say. Y'all be out here wilding. Like y'all be almost worshiping her. But
I mean, I get it though. Like,
I get it, but it's also like I'm gonna give her credit where it's due. Like she's a talented artist, performer, uh, businesswoman. Because doesn't she own uh some stuff?
I mean, yeah, but I don't give a shit about her owning businesses. Fuck
No, facts. I don't either,
that.
but
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Beyonce's
giving her the
kind of like
credit.
that. She's on that pedestal, you know. So I get you giving up the
Yeah, but it's also like the stands of Beyonce like turn me off from listening to her because it's like no matter what you say, they gonna be at your neck. Like if you just say for instance, you say her album is you thought one of her albums was okay, not even bad. It's just okay. They're gonna be at your neck just just off the sheer fact that you said her album was okay.
What? Lemonade isn't a 10 out of 10, bro? You gave Lemonade a 6? Are you retarded? Are you mental? Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It's just aggravating, man.
Yeah. Well, that's why I said with like anything too much in like can be bad. I feel like fuck. I don't know what that argument can kind of be translated to, like a parallel kind of argument, but I get how it's annoying because I think you share some of the like that hipster kind of mentality. Like some artists you really like up until other people try to shove them down your throat and it's like, yeah, you gotta listen to this or this is amazing. You're like, it's okay.
Yeah, I just when people do that, I'm just like, I see you saying it's good, but I'm not seeing where it's like the creme de la creme. I'm just
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean,
I mean, she has
mhm,
great albums though. I ain't gonna lie.
yeah. And I feel like it's all subjective. It's opinion, preference. Not everything's for everybody. And I know that's an issue that I have when I'm trying to review albums and shit. Cause I feel like our number metric for like 1 through 10 right now for me is a little constrictive. I like it though, cause you know constraints can help sort of make decisions, but it's subjective. Like if I give a certain album a 7, someone else might think it's a 8, and someone else may think it's a 10. And like that's what do we base like what's right and what's wrong off of, other than just like general kind of opinion or like the most associated norm.
Yeah, and also it's also it can get to the point where like say somebody wants to you talking to one person about let's say my beautiful dark twisted fantasy, right? And that argument is a doubt that album is arguably a classic album, correct?
Yeah,
And you take somebody else, that same person, they say Flo Milli's album, not even Flo Milli. You take, let's say, Lil Key. So they say a Lil Key album is, oh, this album is a 10 out of 10. Well, okay, how is this album a 10 out of 10? And Kanye West album is a 10 out of 10 as well.
yeah.
It just it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's context. I think it's yeah, context is really important. Obviously, Uh, shit, that's hard to unpack. But I mean, to some shit could be attending niggas if that's what they really like. If you into that keyed sound, you like, you may really like thug, different shit like that, and it just hits for you. I personally, a full Lil Key body of work, I am not in a hurry to listen to. I'm not gonna sit down and listen to it all the way through. My beautiful dark twisted fantasy. It's crazy. It's not my favorite Kanye project, but I have no issue with it being regarded as a 10 as a body of work. Uh it just depends. People have preferences and numbers. I'm a Kid Cudi fan. I don't consider myself a stan, but I really like Kid Cudi, and Speeding Bullet to Heaven is like that bad. album or that album that people shit on. They're like, yeah, this fucking sucks or whatever. Personally, I kind of like it. And the thing that's really interesting about it is because it's like part of me likes the album just because it's so different from a lot of the music that he did, and I think I try to digest it in the context of like how does this feel like in opposition to the other stuff. And it's definitely not a 10 for me. It's not really, I don't think it's even an 8. It's somewhere between that 6 and 7 range. And I feel like I said, people get grossed out by numbers like 6 and 7, like, oh, that's like an F or a D. And I think it's okay. I think it's an okay album. Like some albums, and I'm going on for a while about it, but like I feel like some albums don't have to be high up on the number list to do what they have to do. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense to me, actually,
Yeah.
because I feel like if you take something like what you said for me, that Kid Cudi album in particular, I didn't like it at all. I'm just gonna be
Yeah.
straight up. I wasn't feeling it,
And
but
that's a
I can see
hundred
why you
percent
say it's connected.
understandable. Like it's not for everyone. It's not a rap album. I think it's like a album.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, man. Lil Wayne, I am not a human being. Oh wait, was that the no? I'm trying to think. What was the rock album he had? Was it like damn? I'm misquoting, bro. I think it's gonna come at my
I can't remember the title of it because I'm not. People gonna be on my neck for this too. I'm not that big of a Lil Wayne fan, so I don't really. I mean, I know his major works, but that one in particular, I don't know the title of it. I probably heard it before though.
I can't think of the name of the album. But it's like when he started playing like supposedly started playing guitar or whatever. I think it's I'm not a human being. Or it's something else. And he had that song where I think his name is Kid Rock. That guy. Uh, I was taken back by it, especially as like an adolescent, because I was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And I remember he was like Wayne's World, Planet Rock. I was like, "What the fuck?" It took me out of left field. I can appreciate it so much more as an adult though, because I'm like, "Oh, that's cool. He's experimenting. He's doing something different." And that genre bending, genre fusion shit that gets a little bit cooler when you get older, and it changes context of shit. And what else? It's not one of my favorite projects by any means, but I can still appreciate it. Like one man's junk
Yeah,
is another man's treasure.
that's facts. That's definitely facts. Um, yeah, the album's called Rebirth. I believe that's
Rebirth.
what.
That's what I wanted to say. Reborn, but I knew that wasn't it. Rebirth.
Yeah,
It was pretty decent. I fucked with it. But no,
I have to go back and listen to it.
yeah, Speed and Bullet to Heaven is. If someone told me it's an awful album, I'd be like, okay, that I I could see where you're coming from with that. But I like it. I appreciate it. And Kid Cudi is a very like as an artist, like I think that changes the number for him because he's a very like kind of authentic and just he gives it to you straight kind of artist. And for what he was going through, like I think it's cool. I like it. There are some artists though. I'm trying to think. I don't know. It's just rating albums is always going to be weird for me. And I know that's like a staple for our website, the Urban Dimension platform. But like the Toro y Moi album review for I Did for Anything in Return, that album for me is like gold. Like all the work that I've done in college and shit like that, like the hours I've spent reading, typing, doing shit, I just play that album fully, like on repeat, no skip, nothing. And I love that album. I think I gave it an 8 for a review, and it took me back because I was like, damn, it's just an 8. I love this album, and it's just an 8. And I think that was a cool bit of like a moment of reckoning for me because it's like you can like music or you can like certain things that isn't perfect. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense because like my favorite album of all time is probably Rodeo, just because the time I heard it and the stuff I had going on at the time, it just was very suitable. So, and it's not even what I say is perfect. No, it's not a 10, but it's definitely in that 8 to 10 range, I would say. But yeah, your favorite album doesn't have to be perfect
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that I think that opens the discussion. I think does it just excel? Does it? Because I know, like, fuck, I'm not Anthony Fantano, an aficionado. Actually, now that I think about it, I gotta look this shit up. I think one of the Tory and Y albums, I think maybe it was Anything in Return. He gave the album maybe like it was either a 4 or like a 6, and that made me upset. I was like, man, this motherfucker. I'm like, nigga don't know music, but like later, I was just like, he doesn't like the music. Like that's him, you know. But
But I mean,
mhm.
my thing with not to cut you off, but my thing with Anthony Fantano is I've seen a few of his videos, and after a while, I started watching it, and I was just like, he's critiquing this music kind of hard, like he was critiquing. I think it was the other day I watched the him critique the Travis Scott song franchise, and I didn't know what I was gonna expect, but he gave it like a 4. I mean, it's not a perfect song, no, but it's like the way he critiqued it like he was critiquing Kendrick Lamar. But I'm like, you can't expect somebody like Travis. He can rap, but you can't expect somebody like Travis to give you like top tier lyricism because that's just not what he's for. He's to give you, you know, the vibe or either a vibe or a feeling
Yeah,
or just to get you lit. Like,
yeah, bro. I'm actually getting in my feelings right now. I'm looking up the video. Whew. I mean, granted, this is in 2013, so this is like a 7-year old video. But he gave it a light 4. The Anything in Return by Toro and Y album, and just looking at it, I'm pissed. Like I'm just like, wow. And it's funny because I'm going in the comments and everyone's like, "It's a good album, man," or like, "How can you not like this?" Or they're like, "I don't think you got it." Like the J Cole memes or whatever. It's like, I don't think you're smart enough to really understand what's going on.
yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, I I think I'm using this word correctly, like solace or whatever. I found a little bit of I found a reprieve in the fact that like other people was able to like say like nah you wrong, you know. And like even if they didn't
hmm
say that, that's how I felt anyway. And I was just like i'm comfortable and confident in the fact that like that album is great. To me it's solid, it's one of my favorites. I'm probably biased whatever, but as long as I feel that way, you know, fuck it. Anyone can apply that to how they feel. So that's why I don't get too wrapped up about like say the Beyonce stan stuff because I get it. Like if you see the art and you behold it to be a certain thing and you can I guess articulate in some form of fashion that like this is really what it is and this is why I think it deserves this kind of value or to be valued at this point, I say go for it. And the people that disagree, I mean, like, what are you gonna do?
no facts. I mean, fuck it. Your opinion is your opinion. Whether I mean, yeah, you don't gotta agree with their opinion.
Except for Trippy
That's why I
Red,
think it.
that Trippy Red exclamation point album. I'm trying to think, what was that? Or was it like question mark? That album was awful.
See, from what I thought, I didn't think it was. Let me stop. It was pretty bad.
Nah, it had a couple songs on there. Like for me, Trippy Red is the biggest like hit or miss artist. Like, cause Trippy Red's got some good songs. And I know it's weird that I'm just bringing him up, but like he just popped up in my mind. That album, when I heard it, I was like, this is pretty mid.
Yeah, it was pretty mid. I ain't gonna lie. The only songs on there that I really liked was I think you had one with the game. I believe I can't remember what it was called. He had one with oh, I found it right here. It was Immortal with the game, and he also just had I think it was Be Yourself. I didn't mind, and that was about it. So 2 out of what, 12, 14 tracks I liked. That's it's pretty mid. One would say bad, but it's pretty mid.
I can't remember what Anthony Fantano gave it, but or the needle drop, lol. I know it was like below maybe like a three. It was pretty low. Um, uh, I agreed with that, so I was like, okay, there's some common ground between us, but I just was uninspired and I wasn't feeling it on some songs, and I could acknowledge the fact that I didn't like it because it wasn't like, oh, you don't listen to Trippy Red. It's like, nah, some songs I listen to. It was just for some artists, I think. Well, no, I think being a stan is bad for some reasons. Just that, like, if you're not honest and transparent, I think you're robbing yourself of like good music.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like,
That's very true.
yeah, like if I'm married and I'm not married, so this may be actually pretty stupid. I don't know what I'm gonna how it's gonna be, but like, if she asks me something like, "Hey, did you like this or did you like that?" I'm not gonna lie and just be like, "Yeah," and then she keeps doing or making whatever, and I'm sitting there begrudgingly like I don't really like it. Like I'm gonna feel like a dumbass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely
So
understand.
if I'm
That's fact.
if I'm like, nah, I don't like this, you should probably go back to the drawing board. What gives me reason and hope for doing that is the fact that like maybe she'll come back with something better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very facts. Cause like I said, I like Travis Scott a lot, and like I know he's had some misses. He had that one song. It wasn't a Tenet song. I can't remember what it was called, but he had some misses. I'll just say that every now and then. But it's not like a lot that just takes me away from his music per se. But I feel like other stands, like I don't know, I can't really say that for a Beyonce stan because does she really make bad music or has she ever made a bad song?
I don't
Well, I'm not even gonna lie, because she had that album with Jay
what
Z.
ape shit.
Well,
I know people talk about that like that song or like other songs they try to say it's bad.
that whole album just, for me, it wasn't hitting for nothing. Because I did listen to it fully the other day just to see what people was talking about. Because I never did, and I was just like, I mean, it's decent for an album, but for Beyonce and Jay Z, I was expecting a little more than this.
I mean,
But that's just me.
yeah, that's a valid argument. I mean, I think Beyonce's straight. She's not my cup of tea or like what I play on the regular, just because like I like way more like a wide range of shit. Like I'll be listening to Pink Floyd, so fuck, uh, listen to that Toro, Death Grips. I listen to a lot of different shit, and as far as Beyonce goes, like I grew up listening to her and Destiny's Child when I was younger, and that laid I guess a basis for like my understanding of music, and I branched off to different stuff and kind of didn't come back. But I don't think she makes bad music. For me, I always think it's kind of like it's like I'm not the audience sometimes. Like,
Hmm.
and that's the thing too. I think doesn't get uh articulated too well, or like that doesn't come up. So this draws back to kind of like two things I said earlier. One being like context is important. Like if the average listener picked up that "Speeding Bullet to Heaven" by Kid Cudi album, right, and they're like, "What the
Mhm.
fuck is this? This is shitty or whatever." I think that's a valid thing to say. I wouldn't like I get it because that's not for
Oh, yeah, right.
everybody. You're not, you're not in that kind of zone, or you're not hip to that. So I get that. And with that kind of idea being made, I think, it just it could be applied to a lot of different things. Like it's just context, you know.
Yeah, like Beyonce's music, if her the themes she talks about in her music is not geared toward general population, although people do listen to it. Her the things she's talking about is mostly geared for women.
Yeah,
It's not necessarily
yeah, and
so.
I get that.
Yeah, context does in fact matter.
Yeah, I think I dropped an inkling of that with Flo Millie's like on her review, because I was saying like for me, I think it's not like super crazy, and I'm not going out of my way to play it, but that's just because I'm an average Joe kind of guy, and I listen to different shit. But if I hear it, I don't think it's bad, and I think it's cool for art, and it's just I think my experience as a guy is gonna be different, and I want to acknowledge that because when she says like "dicks up when I step in the party," like I think that's funny, and that's a bar. Like that's I was like, ooh, that's cool, but obviously I can't relate to that. I'm not like ooh, and I think the empowerment for women, different shit like that they can relate to. I think that's good, and I think they should have that because I know a lot of guys or other people they get kind of intimidated by women sort of speaking and saying like, oh, they're always talking about this and that. I have no issue with women in rap and like being able to just articulate how they feel because I think for one, women are not a lot like women can explore and do different things, I guess, like sexually, like if they experiment different shit like that. But I think in general, and I might be wrong about this. This is just what I think. Uh, if they really want to express how they feel, like, oh, I want this or I want to do that, I feel like they don't really have that option. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Especially,
that makes sense.
especially with music. And I think it may be different with who you are, but like with like, what's the song like WAP? Is it pronounced WAP or WAP?
Either way, I feel like it's the same thing,
WAP.
same
I'm gonna
premise.
go WAP. Like people were shitting on the song WAP, or like they were saying like they had issues with it. And personally, I think it's cool. Like I'm cool with. Like I said, I'm so laissez faire with shit. I'm so cool with shit that nothing bothers me. But I think it's interesting that like it's changed the game, man. Like it's new slang. Like really sit there and
Hmm.
think about it. Like they came up with like a song that now niggas make memes about, or like you use that in conversation, like that WAP, like that's a thing. And I think them doing that is important because as we evolve, or like culture and social dynamics evolve, like small stuff like that is what separates us from like the last generation, and how everything gets pushed further or farther. Yeah, I can't fucking speak.
Yeah, I agree with you. And also, like that whole song, like when first time I heard it, I was just like, man, this song is vulgar. But then after I listened to it the first time, I took some time with it. I was like, well, I can't really say this is vulgar because other rappers like Future or Gunna talking about, you know, pussy this, pussy that, bitches this, bitches that. And so I'm like, if they can do it, why can't the women do it? That's the whole argument I don't really understand on Twitter when people be like what you said earlier, when they kind of pigeonhole women
Definitely,
for female artists
definitely.
so they can't talk about that. But I'm just like, it doesn't make sense to me. You expect the women to be like prudes on their tracks 100% of the time. That just doesn't make sense to me. And plus, back in the day, rappers like Ice Cube or Easy E, NWA, all them, and other people, they was talking like a bitch is a bitch is this, a bitch is that. So I'm just like, your argument doesn't make sense when you say women can't rap vulgar like the men can, because a lot of these women, believe it or not, they've had some better bars than some of these men. Like Mulatto and Meg, they killing it right now.
Yeah. I think it's just like the double standard kind of thing. And like I acknowledge it just because like it exists and I'm all for the music, man. I'm I'm a fucking hippie. I'm just like whatever makes good music, I think that's cool. And influence is important cuz like I think about it like if I'm not gonna like make this 100%, but like say if you didn't have like Eminem and 3 6 Mafia and like this crazy shit that they rapped about, like, do you think we would have had like Tyler the Creator like on that Goblin kind of rap?
No.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like censorship. That's why I'm anti-censorship. You know, I think some people should be able to express how they feel because that's how art gets created. You know, and it's still expression.
Hmm.
And as far as women goes, it's just like fuck, like let me make what I want to make, let me do what I want to do, and I think that allows people to explore and do different things. And yeah, it's a double standard because when dudes talk about that are like something sexual or whatever, it's normal. And it's like wow, women get to say their experience or their part in the experience, and like you're like shut up, like we don't want to listen to you. So I get why they get upset.
Yeah, but like you said, it's gonna, as years go on, it'll get better. But I mean, people just love to talk on the internet. So I mean, it is what it is at this point. You can't really fix it unless you know time just takes its course. But yeah, let the female artists do what they want to do. We want to hear it.
Facts. I mean, yeah, man. I just I just think that what if you were to really break it down like piece by piece, what like I don't know, like what do you tell a person like, yeah, you can't rap about this. Like what do you want me to rap about? You know what I'm saying? Like really put yourself in a woman's shoes and be like, okay, everybody like
No, sure. That's a very good point, because if I was a woman and they were like you can't rap about this, then what else do you want me to talk about? I mean, they wouldn't have anything to talk about.
yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like
That's just
that's that J. Cole shit. Like, get off my dick. Like that. Actually, I'm happy I thought of that, man. I feel like rap, like niggas talk like old heads and like a whole bunch of people like talk about rap and like, oh man, this that. But I feel like rap, like for what it used to be, like the rebellion and the different kind of like attitudes that was in it. I feel like that was a key and integral part of rap because people had a message, they had like emotions and different shit they wanted to express. And I feel like now niggas don't want to hear that shit, or like niggas are so afraid of what people got to say, and it's just like, nah, I support that. I'm like, fuck that. Like, who are you to tell me what I can't say or what I can't do? You know, and that's why I
fact.
like when niggas, like for me, man, I think my idols are always the crazy people, like the niggas that just did weird, whatever shit. Like I fuck with Rick James, man. Rick James was a crazy nigga, and it's just the fact that like I don't want to be Rick James, but I think when it's all said and done, those people like they leave their mark. They do their kind of thing. You know, it's not like if we making beats, right? Like I don't want to be the guy that does the same boot boot pat boot 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 pat. Like I want to be like a trailblazer, a maverick. I want to be like a Pharrell and just add more bounce to shit. Like, because I feel like all the censorship and people telling you what to do, that just holds us back. I think that's boring.
Yeah, that's absolutely facts, man. I definitely agree with you on that. Because if you just censorship, not censorship, but if you just censor everything that you don't want to hear, like like what you said, it's just gonna pigeonhole everything, and then artists just gonna get really bland.
Facts. Trina, man, I didn't even bring up Trina, but Trina's been rapping about shit like that too. So what's the issue?
Facts. I mean, that's a good point too. I didn't even think about that. And also, I feel like music itself or mainstream music nowadays is getting kind of bland. Only because like the whole how trap music is mainstream now.
Yeah,
It's starting to sound very the same. There's not much differentiation between one song to the
definitely.
next.
You can tell because like a lot of trap influences like pop now. Like when you listen to like pop artists and they have like I remember when pop artists were taking like that Migos kind of flow and just singing with it, and I was just like, wow,
Yeah,
yeah. I I mean, it's cool, or I think it was cool for a minute, but like it does bring out that hipster in you. It's like, damn, everybody's on the same wave. Like, what's the new thing? You know?
yeah. That's exactly how I feel. Like I was listening to what's his name, NBA YoungBoy. Let's start there. NBA YoungBoy. I know a lot of people like his music, but I don't mind his music per se. But some of his stuff, just compared to like a Rod Wave or a Lil Durk or a what's the dude name? I can't forget it. Some other artist, but they all they don't rap the same. It's more the beats that the artists are using, I should say, that are making music sound really bland. They just sound the same. Like they all have that for those artists in particular. They all have a piano, a guitar, saxophone, and some drums, and that's about it. And then you take another trap artist like Lil Key, Gunna, or even Lil Baby. That perfect example. They all use a guitar, flute, and a piano, maybe a synth here or two. And they just sound really repetitive. It's like, all right, can you do anything else besides? And they don't change the subject matter of what they're talking about.
Yeah. I mean, ooh, that's cool. That reminds me what we were talking about with the double XL, the freshman kind of thing. I think I don't know. Like, what do you think is a reason for that? You think like it's just niggas sound repetitive or what?
Well, I just think I don't know. It's really hard to gauge because I just feel like we're in a time where music is fast, everything is on the go.
Yeah.
Plus, with streaming platforms, everything's just put out quick, and plus, music can be made a lot easier because, like nowadays, you can just go on, like, say, the App Store, download Logic, or the internet, download FL Studio. You can make you a beat in your house, 15, 20 minutes, send it off to somebody, get a hit record right there. But back in the day, you had to make the beats on the MPC. You had to sample some stuff. You had to. It was just a whole lot of extra stuff you had to do. So I just feel like I don't know if it's necessarily well, it could be repetitive, but I just feel like everything's just made a lot faster. So when stuff is made faster, a byproduct of that would be like the quality of music would just go down. I'll just put it point blank.
Yeah. Huh. I think there's two parts to that. First part, I was gonna bring up like, do you think overconsumption is killing music? Hot take. uh,
That's a very good question.
yeah, cause
Mhm.
ooh, this is crazy. Like I get so philosophical with shit, but like if you take it back a step, like American culture, like we're really big on being big. Like we take in everything. Like when we eat, it's a whole bunch of shit we eat. When we drink, it's a whole bunch of stuff we drink. So naturally, since we live in excess, maybe we like to take in our music a lot, like to the same degree. So with that being said, people, because I think I heard somewhere like there was a shift from artists kind of releasing music like say like Kanye, like he'd do like an album like every it was like he'd take like 2 years, then like 3 years, then maybe like a few more years or whatever. There's there's not artists that
Hmm.
are like seasonal, but now it's like you gotta have like a single at least out like not once a month, but like every other every other day kind of. So
Yeah,
say if you make say like say if you only make like one good song a month, right? Like that's just how you are when you're creating music, and you wait 3 years, you would hypothetically have 36 good songs. But say if you make one good song a month and they want you to put out 20 songs in 1 year, well, you only have 12 good songs already. So you got to make eight different songs come up out of thin air. So it's like, fuck, where I'm going to pull it out? Like from my ass? So, and I'm not saying that's what people do, but I think that might be like an analogy for like, I guess how some people's quality deteriorates. I don't know. But that's just like is that a
yeah. I
hypothesis?
feel
I
like
don't
there's
think.
a that's. I mean, I guess it's a hypothesis. I guess, but I mean, I feel like there's a lot of different factors that play into that because, like I said, with the digital streaming platforms, that just made music just took music to a different level. And so, like, if
Yeah,
you take, say, let's just take Gunna for example. If Gunna was to drop, I don't know, like, let's just say he drops the album, right? And he doesn't drop an album for the next few years, 4 years, per se, he's not gonna be as not perceived, but he's gonna be not as people aren't gonna listen to his music as much as they would if somebody just consistently putting out records. But like, for instance, the baby, he had an album. His album Kirk was 2019, and then he came back, dropped out Blame It on Baby, I think is what it's called,
yeah.
2020, and then a few months later he dropped a deluxe with like 10 more tracks on it. So I just feel like you're constantly putting out music, but it's not. I don't know. I guess we're saying the same thing because, like I said, the quality of music would just it just goes down. And plus, you also got to think about the whole playlisting situation.
Yeah.
Like, if Gunna doesn't drop an album for 3 or 4 years per se, he's not gonna get playlisted. Playlists nowadays have a lot of power in the music
Ooh,
industry.
you're on to something. You're on to something. Ooh. All right. So
Yeah, because the higher you get playlisted in the like for instance, Apple Music and Spotify they have playlists.
yeah.
The higher you get placed in a playlist, the more popping or the more hot that song is at the time.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I think you kind of like laid the foundation for something. Like cuz what I'm picking up now too is like so with streaming, right? So like say you're an
Hmm.
artist, you're with a label and all you do is rap. And there's nothing wrong with that. Rap. A lot of like rappers and shit like some a lot of them don't make that much money because like they get fronted like in advance and like you gotta pay the producer, say if you don't write the song or like and we take a step
Hmm.
back from rap, just say like you're an artist, so vocal artist, songwriter got to get paid, producer, executives, all these other people, everyone has to get paid. And the only way that they're going to make money is if you make songs. So how am I going to make songs if all I do is like I'm a vocal artist? We got to make the songs, and making songs costs money. If you got people taking their time doing shit, you got to pay the engineers and all those people. So
Hmm.
the incentive is like we gotta make a lot of songs that's like we need a hit, we gotta make something whatever. So some people's creativity sort of gets overrode or like gets the override because the label's like, yo, we need something that's gonna pop. So that's putting a lot of pressure, and like that could force people to make certain decisions that makes the music sound a little robotic or stale. So when you say that like the playlists have an effect on things. I think you're right. Like that, I didn't even think about that. And then with like, yeah, everyone's competing, so like I gotta compete to get on that playlist because especially now people aren't touring, people aren't doing gigs, or they might be starting to do that, but like early on in quarantine everybody's at home, so it's like fuck, if I don't have streaming I'm dead. I have no money.
Yeah, that's basically how it is. They can't perform. They ain't got no money. And a lot of these, well, I don't know about the R&B singer side per se, but a lot of these rappers don't have like assets and a lot of other businesses. Like Rick Ross, he has Wingstop. Uh, 50 Cent has Vitamin Water, I believe, and like Lil Durk has his own trucking company. So it's like if streaming platforms just die or rap was just to end, a lot of them will be broke. So yeah, that's basically how that works.
Yeah, so I mean I think that's one factor for why the quality goes down. And then like I said, producers, like everybody's trying to get paid. So producers on the flip side are probably doing the same thing too. Like if I'm a dude, I'm in my house and I'm trying to get uh I'm trying to get placements. I may work at McDonald's, and when I get home I'm making like 50 beats a day damn near trying to get a placement, and after a while my shit may start to sound the same if I'm chasing that money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So then you're throwing out all these different beats that may sound the same, and just trying to see what fits. So it's crazy because it's like this argument kind of seems to be running around that it's like tiptoeing the around the idea that like capitalism, like fuck, niggas need money, so things are gonna, something's gonna have to shake or break.
yeah. Basically, if it ain't making no money, they ain't doing it.
Yeah.
That's basically what it gets down to. But before we wrap this thing up, did you have any like music you was thinking about listening to or planned on reviewing in the future?
Uh, plan on doing in the future. I'm not too sure. I mean, I'm thinking about the Bryson and the Bryson Tiller album and the 21 Savage album. I know you're doing. I'm probably gonna listen to both, and I know like so we both have like opinions on that. Anything else? I really don't know. It's hard. I was thinking of doing like a Dom Kennedy review on his I think Rap and Roll album, but it's crazy because I like Dom Kennedy, but I was sitting down, I was just like, I don't feel like listening to a full Dom Kennedy project like from start to finish. Like, I was kind of
Hmm.
putting it off. Yeah. So, and that's like I said, nothing wrong with it. It's just I gotta really be in the mood for him. Cause he sometimes he sounds a little preachy, and it might be his voice, but it just comes off as like he's talking to me sometimes.
Oh, that's understandable, man. I definitely get that.
Yeah. For the website for Urban Dimension, I can't give 100% locked in like what review will be next. Um, I'll see, and like I said, I think we'll have to see like the context of like whatever other people say. If we get more interaction and people say like, "Oh, we want this" or whatever, I'll go through and see. Cause I want to do a lot more older reviews or like some of my favorite albums. Are stuff that I really like. I really like Flying Lotus, Death Grips. I think a producer, his name is like Sam I Am, yeah, I like him a lot. Toki Monster, Pink Floyd, a whole bunch of different artists I like. And sometimes I want to do a review, and I'm so excited to do it, but then I'm like, who's gonna read it if it's not so recent or whatever? And then it's like, who wants to put a whole lot of effort into doing something and no one looks at it?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm sure somebody's gonna look at it because they got old heads out there like looking at older music per se. So I mean, shoot, just go ahead and do it, man.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. What about you? What's on your radar?
Um, I know I want to definitely do 21 Savage. I have that plan. Um, this guy out of Houston. I think it's Houston, I believe. His name's Aston Travis. He's like a singer or slash rapper. He just dropped a recent EP called Phoenix Mode.
Ooh,
It's about 7 or 8 tracks, I believe. It's pretty dope. And then Giveon dropped another 4 song EP I might review.
I saw that.
And yeah, and I'm also thinking about who else dropped the project? I think it was I was gonna review Cash Page, her recent album. I forgot what it was called, but
Oh yeah, I'm glad you said that. I forgot. I wanted to do Mulatto's album review. the fre- the freshman cipher. I was like, oh shit, let me peep some Mulatto, Big Lotto. So I might try to see about doing her shit too, cause I think that would be interesting since people were kind of like making the comparison with Flo Milli or whatever. But fuck, you know me at this point. It's like I'll say I'll be doing something and I end up doing something completely different. But we definitely have more content coming. Uh, Now that I think about it, I'm springing this up on you like out of the blue. Since we're in the month of October, I know it's early, but I'm probably gonna start thinking of like a Halloween playlist that we could probably start working on.
oh bet I'm down.
Yeah, so we try to have like some cool uh like spooky vibes type shit or just cool stuff that like kind of makes the hint at like Halloween. I don't know, like you throw on like Mask Off or some shit.
Yeah, that'd be funny. I like the idea.
Yeah, so we could probably do that. Do you have any other ideas for the website? Different shit?
Um, Probably just talking about different like what if collabs with different like R&B singers and rappers, or different collabs that never happened that we would like to see happen.
Oh, like the J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamar rumor.
Yeah, stuff like that. Just spice things up a little bit,
That's
and then also what else could we talk about? It's just a whole lot of things we could do, really.
yeah,
But that's the main thing I'm thinking about doing.
yeah, that's actually interesting. Um, yeah, man, we gotta get off our ass and we gotta get together and make sure we get everything out there or get more content, put our heads together. I was thinking about the gaming platform or just seeing if we add gaming to the website, if we talk about some of the games that we like, because I know we both be playing games and a lot of our other associates, friends, different group members, we play games. And then I was thinking too about we could possibly add like shows and movies, because I know you've been watching The Boys recently, right?
Oh yeah, that show. As problematic as it is, it's a very great show.
Yeah, so I think like just a different medium or something like other content for like people that may like not be so heavy into music, or like maybe you like this kind of music and say an artist you like is in a show or some shit, like we could add that or do that, because I know Kid Cudi, he's like in a he's in some show that I kept seeing on Twitter because I follow Kid Cudi on Twitter, and I wanted to check it out because I like Kid Cudi, but I didn't get that push. So I was thinking, well, damn, what if like if someone had did that article or just mentioned it, I might have looked at it. So maybe I could do that for someone else.
Yeah, good. That's a very valid point.
Yeah. But I mean, other than that, that's the main kind of thing. We're getting our first podcast out there, so shout out to us. Don't want to toot our own horn, but we're doing something now. Yeah, so baby steps, urban dimension. We're getting out there. We're bringing you content. We're trying to do it all, see what works. Also interact with the people, see what they want, what kind of content works for them, and we make the adjustments.
Yeah, and if you guys have anything you want us to review, any albums, TV shows, movies, games, whatever it may be, let us know on our Instagram or Twitter, or you can leave a comment on our website.
Yeah, definitely. Feel free to send us submissions too. We're very much interested in up and coming talent. Uh, we're not really too big on like you try to pay us, and we try to give out clout. Like that's not what we're about right now. It's just kind of not that's not what we're about in general. But it's we just talk about shit that we really fuck with. So send it this way if we fuck with it. We'll definitely give it a nod or a shout out. So that's the word from Teddy Rockwell. That's just what it is.
Yep, that's basically what it is, man. But thanks for listening to the Urban Dimension podcast. We'll see you on the next one.
All right, all right, peace.
Peace.